I've spoken quite openly about the fact that I don't like influencers in general. I don't like people who keep doing live streams. I think they're very obtrusive. They don't know how to function in society. So they create everything becomes like a live drama and it just doesn't end. So the focus, of course, focuses on them, but they don't really care about the disruption they cause in everyday life in people's ordinary, daily activities. So they don't turn the camera off. It's everywhere. So there's no privacy. A lot of time they do things for attention. It's just reckless. And it's the impression it has on society as a whole, and especially the current youth and even the future generations. It's a problem. But I say there are positive examples of influencers, but it's so rare, like incredibly rare. But there is one influencer at the moment that's getting quite big in the UK. I've seen some content where they've transcended over to the US. People in the US have taken note of them. Usually one minor thing becomes viral and people really take to it. But I've been witnessing them for a little while. I don't go out my way for this content, by the way. I just get it. I know a lot of the bad eggs I've known for years because that's the content I receive, even though I don't engage with it and I don't like it. And some I end up blocking because I get fed up. Then I start seeing clips and you can't get away from them. It's frustrating. But when you get someone who seems genuine, and then you see enough content to see that there's a trend here, they do seem actually genuine, like at heart, and I like that. Now, I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I don't go out my way to watch the people. I'm not. It's not the sphere that I'm involved in. But you can appreciate someone who's just genuine, and they do it for the right reasons. And I've always said this, that the current age of the influencer is dying, and some of them will have to adapt to fit in. And although I consider this person genuine, there's going to be those who have continually try to be relevant, who want to keep taking off of the public, really, keep taking gifts and all this shit. Again, to stay relevant, they're going to have to adapt. And when they see the popularity this one's getting, they will jump on the bandwagon. It's just all I would say for people in general is look where people are authentic and follow that. Energy doesn't lie. Now, as you can see from my title, it's just positive influencers. I don't do anything for attention. I don't jump on bandwagons and trends. I just felt in this situation, I think it was important to provide balance. And I think that's important in life in general. Like I could say I don't like influencers, but if there is sort of a caveat to that, there's a positive example that goes on the other side, I think it's only fair mention it. But I haven't mentioned the person in my title. There won't be mention of them in the description or any tags, because I don't do things for that reason. I'm not here to jump on trends. I don't like it. Jump on because too many people do that. They try and profit off someone else's name. No. I just felt this person deserves, we deserve to provide a positive example. The one thing I will say before I show him, and this isn't even the best clips. He's got some really good clips that I've seen. The one thing I would take from it is, and I think it's the message that gets lost amongst people, and it's something I witness, again, I don't think the average person does. You see a positive example or what you call a role model. It's only natural when you're going through a period of growth that you would naturally attach to them and want to mirror them. So let's say some of the things he's interested in, I can see becoming popular amongst others, because that person's made it popular. But the message that's getting missed is the fact that you're drawn to this person because he has a positive energy and he's being original. So rather than copy someone and be a mirror of them, you should be embracing your originality and be yourself. That's the message that we should be taking from it. But it's going to get missed because people are just going to want to mirror that person. But I really hope to God that people find the light in themselves and realize that it's just be yourself, So anyway, I'm going to show a little clip. I was going to leave it later, but I think it's the longer I go, the less chance there is that you're doing it for attention and things. Because this individual, look, they have connections to people that I don't particularly respect, which is why I was a bit hesitant early on. I was like, well, I'm not sure because there's certain individuals, I'm not going to pull them out or say their names. I have no interest in them. Different part of society to me, it's just different lifestyles. But he has set himself apart. So, yeah. But anyway, there was a situation that happened recently. He was at an event, minding his own business. People started on him. rather than react, he played it cool and he was like, I'm not interested. That's not what I'm here for. I don't fight. Because a lot of the influencers, I said before, they become gladiatorial, you know? Everything comes back to how can I get attention? And then they've all gone down this path of let's get into boxing, let's just get into street fights, it's just so stupid. And he was bigger than that. He was like, I'm not interested in that. You know, I'm not doing it. So they started throwing drinks at him. And he still kept his cool. And his popularity went through the roof for that. And the people that harassed him, they got villainized for it. So that was a great example of society shifting. In the past, some people would have laughed at it. Now people are going, no. You know, why would you treat him like that? He's a genuine nice guy. He's providing a positive experience. He's being a positive role model. These people are acting like idiots. There's no benefit to this, you know, all because you want attention. So people are starting to see now. So that's great. From that point of view, I thought it was a great turning point. And I say, he's a good role model from what I'm seeing. And everybody's going to have their own niche. I've said that before about like what I do and the fact that for instance, if you go politics, there's going to be some people where their whole life is built, is really the whole point, their whole life is going to be about exposing the corruptions within politics even. So everybody has their niche when it comes to being a positive role model. And I don't think you could ever have too many positive role models in this world. I think the world needs it, and certain sections of society and people will be drawn to specific people. If that makes sense. So I personally think, for instance, the youth will. I get itchy nose a lot. I had an itchy nose before I can come on this video. It's doing my head in, trying to get through it. But yeah, so the youth will be. I think these influencers, although they can be quite toxic and negative, I think for the youth to have a positive role model, I think is a great thing. Like, you know, as long as it stays that way. I am slightly worried about the corruption because I saw one video. I don't want to start calling names out, but there are American influencers who have a lot of money. Their name is almost a brand. And one reached out to them and they got quite excited about it. So there's other people that they've been mentioned by are quite prominent in America. You know, that maybe they weren't aware of. And I was aware of the name, which, you know, wouldn't say it's a bad thing being connected to them at all. But then because of the influencer arena and who he already knows, he was already aware of this influencer. I'm trying to steer away from names. But this is someone who I think is incredibly dodgy. I don't, you know, again, you start making accusations here and there. But yeah, I've seen the things they've done. I'm trying to steer away from saying anything too specific. I think some influencers are sadistic. They do rituals for the devil. And again, I know it's a big thing to say, and people who are not spiritual won't really believe in any of that. I've seen footage. I've seen videos where they've got something off screen and someone was challenging them. All of a sudden, they're part of this. They're almost like part of the same thing here. There's a group of them. I'll just say, the video I saw, people can do with it what you want. And I've always had a bit of reticence towards these people anyway. I've not lack of trust towards them. And they were all in the room. You had, might as well say, I don't care because I've seen the video. You had Adam Ross, which is the one I'm referring to. He's the one that had the book in the room, and he didn't want it referenced, and I saw it. So he's got a statistic, pretty much the alternative of the Bible, should we say, a book. And there's been stories as well that I've heard, and I've heard them say it because they reveal too much on camera. They can't help themselves. They just go too far because they think they're immune. So, right, Mr. Beast was there, who I don't trust at all. I've always thought he's got quite, you know, people who see the smiles too much and they think, oh, they're nice. Look beyond the smile. Look beyond the smile. I don't watch anything of theirs at all. You know, and there was a couple of other people. So Aidan Ross is the one that's reached out to this person, and I was like, I wouldn't do that. You've got a good brand you're building right now. You don't need those quick fixes. That's going to send you in a negative direction. If you do that, it's not for me to get involved, but I'm just saying, if that happened to me, I wouldn't even take it. Don't care. You know, I want the right opportunities in my life. I would not. Before we even get onto this, because again, I didn't really want to start steering towards names, but I'm just saying, I've done a blacklist on my website today that I was writing up. This isn't exhaustive. I'm still going to add to this when I can remember names. These are like ones that are prominent in my mind right now. And I'll go through it. I don't care. These are people I do not want to work with. I do not want any financial assistance or otherwise from these people. I do not want to collaborate. I don't want to hear from them. So if I've made it clear. So I've done this blacklisted section of my website, just so you know. And I've even put it here. I'll read it exactly how I've wrote it. Regardless of whether I'm at the height of success or in poverty, there are some people I'm never interested in meeting, let alone working with or accepting financial assistance from. And those people are listed below. Rather than explain the reasons for each individual, which is best for legal reasons, after all, the majority on my list's sole focus is power, so they jump at any opportunity to display dominance. To minimize their opportunity to portray victimization for specific reasons, I shall leave it broad. For context, individuals on this list are on this list because I believe or have witnessed reference within their content at one point or another of sadism, narcissism, opportunism, corruption, racism, misogyny, bigotry, or I simply may not like their energy or values. This list doesn't include everyone because it's impossible to compile an exhaustive list, and some I wouldn't want to increase their profile further by drawing more attention to them. So, for absolute clarity, if anyone's on this list or has direct connection to those on this list, I suggest never trying to approach or invest in me. It's best for all concerned that we follow our own paths away from each other. This list will continue to increase over time. Now, just to put on context, I am purposely avoiding any UK influencer's name because I wouldn't even want to add to their clout. You know, it's just for that reason only. I'm not worried about adding their name, but I just don't want to give them attention beyond what they already have. But just be aware that I know of most UK influencers. I've seen them time and time again. So even if you come into contact with them and they try to convince you they're not like this, I've seen too much. I've witnessed them since about 2020. So any major UK influencer that's been around since really a significant part of TikTok, for instance, from 2020, best believe I'm aware of who they are. And I've seen them throughout all their period, whether it looks like they're growing, some are growing a little bit and maturing. That's positive. So not all as bad as they were maybe a few years ago. Some continue the facade and, you know, the negative. Some are jealous as shit. That's getting pathetic, to be honest, to watch. People genuinely jealous of other people's success and they can't get over the fact that what they were doing was short-lived. Being an influencer on social media is not a long-term success. It's just not. It's something that's going to be short-lived. People move on. Trends come and go. New people become relevant. And it's just so superficial. There's no depth to it. So why would it's like watching a reality TV show, but it's like it's boring. You can only watch it for so long. Now I'm fed up looking at you. Yeah, that's what people be drawn fed up with. I was never interested to begin with. It just become this curiosity of trying to see where society is at the moment. That's the only bit. But even then, I weren't that interested. Anyway, like I say, I'm not going to mention those names because the sooner they're forgotten, the better. So anyway, so these are the list of people I never want to hear from, don't want to do business with, don't want anything from them. And again, these are going to be high up in terms of social cues, I guess, in the echelon, but you never know where your star shines. You never know how far you're going to go in the world, you know? So at the moment, this list it might seem surreal, but in the future, maybe it won't be. And I've already done this list before I even have any chance to be successful. So it would seem crazy and bizarre now, and I get it. But it doesn't matter. I don't want any of these people near me. So I've put Beyonce Knowles and Sean Carter, a.k.a. Beyonce and Jay-Z, Sean Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, Erica Kirk, Aiden Ross and US influencers plus live streamers, UK influencers plus live streamers, James Stephen Donaldson, a.k.a. Mr. Beast, Jason Bradley DeFord, also known as Jelly Roll, Tom Cruise and other Scientologists, Kenneth Copeland and other evangelists, Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, James Corden, Steve Harvey, Donald Trump and his entire administration, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Nigel Farage, political or state leaders not interested in being involved in politics or selling out, Ashton Kutcher, David Walliams, Piers Morgan, Howard Stern. Now, not every single name on there would be what you'd consider corrupt to a degree. I just have no respect for some of them. So, like, I don't like calling people out, but like, for instance, Piers Morgan, he used to be from I think it was, I might be wrong about the newspaper. I think it was either the Daily Mail, not Daily Mail, the Mirror or the Sun. I think he was the editor of the Sun, when there was a lot of corrupt shit going on, when there was people doing that. What was it? What they where they were hacking their phones and stuff. A lot of celebrities were having their hacking their phones, so there was no integrity there. Under his stewardship, there was no integrity. I don't like that. I've seen him do interviews. He talks over people. He just becomes argumentative. It's all for drama. It's dramatics. So I don't see any point of even dealing with someone like that. I don't actually respect. He's outspoken on some things, but I don't really respect his values at all, personally. So you wouldn't see me do. I wouldn't be interested in doing an interview with him or talking to him personally. That's my own view. Don't waste my time in the wrong company. Same with Howard Stern. I see him interview people. He talks over every guest. He just makes it. Of course, it's a Howard Stern show, so it's all about him. But he might as well just be talking to himself. He doesn't even give the guests a chance to finish sentences. What a waste of time. And people like James Corden, not saying he's bad in a corrupt ways like everybody else. He just doesn't come across very kind and nice. He's very egocentric, all about him. Not my kind of person, to be totally honest. In those sort of companies, it would just irritate me. I wouldn't like it at all. I'd feel everything's for show, everything's for opportunity. Like, for instance, if you can't be kind to an everyday, ordinary person, then you're not worth someone's time anyway. Like, in my opinion, like if you with some people, I feel they're only interested if you have a certain status. It's almost like they can gain something off it. It makes them feel powerful or something. It's just stupid. So, like, anybody that can't just be normal, I'm not interested in at all. So this list will expand as I continue to remember people, but these are people that are quite prominent on my mind, hence why they got there. If you think about Mark Zuckerberg, for instance, the story goes that he took the concept for Facebook off a friend or acquaintance, colleague, and, these are very selfish, greedy people. And you look at the way he peddles his to try to influence politics and all these different things. It's just crazy. And these people are like billionaires and things, they could help society, but they choose not to. And then you look at the influence they have, even Elon Musk, they have the influence on social media platforms. Zuckerberg owns, from my understanding, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. That's hugely influential on everybody, really, around the world. To be able to control those platforms, it controls narratives. Then you've got Musk, who owns Twitter, not X. I don't call it X, I call it Twitter, because that's the last time I used it was Twitter. Then as soon as he took over, I definitely was never going to go back. But that's a lot of control over the social media that other people consume and interact with. And then the US government now owns sections of TikTok. It's actually crazy. So if you actually think about social media and the way we communicate and perceive society, it's very much heavily influenced by very powerful people who genuinely couldn't give a crap about everybody else. Again, does that shit? Like I said at the end of this, it's not necessarily that people are pure evil, or I simply may not like their energy or values. I don't like their values. So I wouldn't want any investment from any of these people, even just a penny. I don't want a damn thing. So that's why I say I've got this bit where I've put on my website now about, like, if anyone wants to support me, because my life is so hard right now. I don't ask for anything, though, so I've just made it clear that I'd rather people just bought my books, really, if you're going to support me. It would take me about 2 months to start receiving any of the money, but so it doesn't help me right now. But, I like things to be reciprocal. So if someone's helping me, I'm helping them, and I think that's fair. So I never ask anyone for handouts. I just struggle, But even in that struggle, when I'm like, it's deeply, at the moment, it's really hard. Like, people wouldn't understand the depths of it, and I'm not going to go too deep into it. But yeah, it's ridiculous. But I still wouldn't want a penny off any of these people. I'd rather be poor and hungry than have anything from anyone listed on this page. So anyway, and that's just, I've gone out of my way to actually write that, to say, look, just stay away from me. That list will get bigger. So anyway, so Aidan Ross, for instance, is on my list here. I wouldn't want anything to do with him. These people are just connected to other entities and people who, you don't know how far the snake tail and the head finished. Who's involved? How deep does it go? It's dodgy as shit. They are not people I would want to ever deal with. So, like I say, we've got UK influencer now he looks like a really good role model for the youth, and not even just the youth, even people that are a bit older. You get to see someone who's actually out and about and interacting in a positive way, and I think that's all beneficial. I say everybody has their own influence, I guess. Like, for me, I'm not interested in this live shit. You wouldn't see me ever doing this. I don't like it. I prefer to create and then keep my peace and sanctity. Other people, they want to be out and about and interacting with people all the time and doing that. And by all means, But that's not something I would be interested in at all. So the fact that he's the face of something positive, I think is good. So this is only one little example. Unfortunately, I've got good videos of him, like really, really good ones. So what I'm saying is I've seen consistently over. I mean, he's only been around for a little while, like only, I don't think like maybe a month or so. It's crazy. It's been absolutely wild how he's just come out of nowhere, but it's in a positive way. And like I say, I could have shared examples of people losing their mind who have been doing this from about 2020, whose star is starting to fade, and they're jealous as shit. Like, why should he get this opportunity? They're not realizing that it's not about how long you've put into this. It's your aura. It's your energy. It's like, what do you bring to people's lives? What are people interested in? What are you adding to people's daily, routines and things? These other people, they just sit around moaning on camera all day long. They don't even provide any entertainment value at all. It's not educational. It's just a pity party. That's all they're doing is just sitting there moaning about other people, how they shouldn't be popular, how they should be getting the attention, and it's just, that's not interesting. That's not exciting. It's just, who wants to hear that shit, to be totally honest? So they feel entitled to the success that he's now getting. And it's like, it's delusional. And they're going to get left behind and they're going to just be in their little pity parties. And I always said that all along. I never expected someone to come through so quick to be positive, though. And he's been great. So you probably I don't know if you pick up on my accent, but I'm from Essex, born Southend-on-Sea. A lot of Londoners go Southend in the holidays and things in the summer. I see some of these content creators, they do visit there. I'm not there anymore. But yeah, so anyway, he's from, I think, Brentwood, I think he said it is. So Brentwood's still in Essex, so it's Southend's Essex as well. So you could say similar areas, but he's about 15, I'm guessing about 15, 20 miles away in terms of from where I used to be to where they are. But you'll find a lot of the influencers are coming from the Essex region anyway. So you do find all over Essex and I think more like London, South London anyway. That's really where most of the influencers are. Of course, they're all over the country as well, but a lot of them are like from those sort of areas, really. So we finally got someone who actually he's coming across well. What I would say, because I do I like to be fair about people. From what I've learned about him a little bit, just from him talking, again, I don't go out of my way. I get a lot of other content that I consume, not just watching this, because I can't just keep watching influencers. It drive me, even a positive one, it'll still drive me nuts after a while, because I feel like I'm just watching their camera constantly, and it's like, oh my God, I've got to switch off from this shit. But like I said, positive for other people, and it's nice to see. So one of the things he said about the fact that he's on camera a lot, which I thought was quite endearing, to be totally honest, is the fact that he does, I'm lonely, but I'm quite lonely. I'm lonely, but I cope well with it. I'm very independent. So yeah, there is a lonely side, but you wouldn't see me trying to gravitate to an online audience to be my friend. That's not what I mean. That's not my vibe at all. I've always been a small knit person. So if I was in a relationship, that's really all I'm looking for is my daughter in a relationship. And it's like, I don't want a group of friends. You can have colleagues, you can have acquaintances, but I'm not really I've never looked for like best friends in my life. It's just extra baggage and hassle. So like, for instance, if I just want to travel, go on holiday, I'd rather go with a partner. I'm going to have this experience. I'd rather go with a partner, It's just, I'm good. That's just me though. So for instance, with his thing, what he was saying was, he's had these hardships and things, and people might think he does it for attention, but it's not. He actually likes to interact with people. And and how he's explained it, even if he's going for a meal, he feels like he's got some friends around him. So he doesn't feel so bad when he's going out. If he's going out on his own, well, a lot of time he has his brother with him. And when you can put things in that perspective, it makes sense. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can understand that. I still think it's important to give people privacy, and I can't say for sure he definitely has. I think he does. He definitely does things tactful. I don't feel what he does is to flaunt everything and do it for attention. I've seen him help older people. And like I said, this is what's really nice. Is you can never say 100% someone's doing it for legitimate reasons, but I do get the feeling that he is doing it authentically. So if he sees an older person, he interacts with them. So he lets them know they're seen, You're not a hindrance. Little things like that. It just gives you what it does. Like I said, even if he wasn't doing it authentically and there was an underlying issue, which I don't think it is a positive influence on society, isn't it? Like you might get you might get the younger generation rather than keep ridiculing older generation, because you get people like that, or causing havoc in town centres and just being dipshits in general, because that's what the current influencers behave like. If you've got a positive one, it'd be nice to see how that reflects on this generation of youth, the youth specifically, you know. Like, that'd be really nice if you just started seeing that they actually go out of their way to be kind to the older generation, just people in general. Like, why can't people just be nice? And if he's instigating this, I'm going to say all for him. And that's why I say positive influencers. It's so rare, but I don't know why others haven't figured out that you can get, if you're looking for attention, you can find attention in the right ways. You don't have to be an arsehole to get things happen, you know. So let's just look here. This is just, again, I haven't got the best videos because I don't save them, like them. I just see them and then I flick on. I don't always watch to the end either because it's not something I need. But it's just, it's so nice to see someone have positive experience. And here's a good way about him, to be totally honest. Like, I like coffees myself. I like cappuccinos. So I've used like the machines to get your coffee, the Costa coffee. You know, I like all those sort of things as well. Not to the extent that he does. He needs coffee at a certain temperature. And he's quite funny with it. It's the way he speaks. It's direct. I like it. But he has this mannerism, and I think it will definitely influence others. I think you'll get people, you know, drinking more coffee. I think personally because he drinks coffee. But again, you go full circle. I don't think the point is to mirror him. It's to look for good qualities, but embrace yourself, because that's really what people are drawn to without realizing it. You know, sometimes it's like a subconscious thing. They don't realize why they like this. They like it because he's himself. That's refreshing. In a world where everybody's just carbon copies of each other and everyone's just looking for attention. So anyway, in this video, the girl comes up to him and says, "My boyfriend, I think that's what it is. Her boyfriend had an image of him, a bit like when you do the coffee, but on top of a Guinness. I don't know how they do it, like a template, I guess. I really don't know, but it's pretty cool. Look at this.
Yeah, what's happening? I'll show you this. My boyfriend put your face on a Guinness.
Oh my
God.
No way, bro. Check that on the stream. I zoom right in on that quickly. How the fuck am I on a Guinness? Oh, that is mad. I tell your boyfriend, I said that is mad.
I will.
He does come across really nice, though. Like I said, these videos are not going to do justice. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really, because I've seen so many kind videos where even people meet him in the street and he gives them the time. He did do one recently where he was getting a bit stressed that he can't just walk down the street now. You know, he's himself, he's recording it. All of a sudden, now he's popular. People are gravitating to him, so it's hard to just do what he was doing before. And I thought, that's the price of fame, isn't it? But
why are you on the train when you have a...
Again, it's very short. This is not... I've seen a lot better videos, but this was a good message. Just in terms of, think about it. You've got the youth do reckless things. They've got terrible role models. And you've got him saying positive, affirming things. So he is a positive influence. So it says speaks up on drink driving. Look.
Car. Because I'm drinking, mate. I'm not going to drink drive. I never drink drive in my life. I don't agree with drink driving. If you are having a drink, do not drive. Get the train or the cab. Why are you on the train?
Simple message. Like I said, I haven't got any more videos show unless I go on my social media now. But I mean, I don't look for them. So if it doesn't come up, if it comes up, I can do it. But I mean, I'm scrolling now and I'm about... No, I mean, I'm not getting anything. What'll happen is, as soon as I do my video, they'll come up. Well, it's come up now, about 20 scrolls in. I'll fave it just so I can get it. Now I'm getting a few, so that's happening a bit more. Right, we'll do these ones. I don't... Right, we're going to do it just to show him, because I want to give a balanced reflection on him. If I do one video, it's not giving a view of him. Right, we've got a load now. I didn't think we would, but the algorithm's going mad with him at the minute. Yeah, okay. Let me just turn this off so I can refresh.
No, Ben, don't...
Right, okay, so I thought I paused it, but I didn't pause it. I thought I paused the video. You probably heard a little bit of sound there. Right, okay. So this isn't for clout or anything. I just want to give him a fair, balanced perspective. If I just do 2 videos, is it a fair reflection of him, you know? So I don't even know what's coming up. I just faved it, scrolled on a little bit more, faved, scrolled on a little bit more, faved. So anyway, he says he's glad his cameraman doesn't drink coffee. I don't know what that's about.
Drink coffee, so it's going to save me 50 quid a week.
When is St. Patrick's Day or Paddy's Day? When is that?
No, Ben.
What I will say about him is I've seen some of the content creators, like these influencers, they treat their cameraman really poor. I'm not going to call the people out, but I've seen it, where they don't like them drinking anything, even just water. They don't like them eating. They're just treated like a mule. It's absolutely disgusting. But with him, with his cameraman, I mean, he's had to change recently. Again, I know too much about these people, and I don't even want to know. But yeah, with his cameraman, he was trying to make sure he eats meat in his food. Don't just keep eating salads and shit. Make sure you get some meat in there, you know. And it was nice because it just showed that he cares about the person, and he wants him to, you know, have things as well. So yeah, it doesn't want him going without. I think that's really nice because that's rare in that community.
Oh, might as well walk to Nando's, come.
Yeah, let's go Nando's, fuck it.
I'm not going to act like I'm cold though. I feel that. Oh.
Oh, I needed that like you wouldn't believe.
It is a bit crazy.
Huh? Yeah, sweet, my bro. What do you say? Careful, you get your phone snatched. What the fuck?
Snatching that.
Oh, bro, how are we going to get on this, bro? You mad? We're going to have... What, you telling me you can't get on this? I just see how much a cab is. The chicken shoes, yeah? Starbucks around the corner. I'm not a Starbucks guy. I've never been Starbucksy guy, man.
Shall we give him the benefit of the doubt and try it?
I've never been like that.
Shall we?
Huh?
Shall we try it and give him the benefit of the doubt?
Nah, mate. No. Right.
That's interesting then, because it does, whether that's the reason, but it's saying because he doesn't want to support the genocide really in Palestine. Is that the reason? I don't know, but if it is, it's good because he's holding his values. Although, like someone else has put there, nothing to do with Palestine. I don't know what that video's about at all.
Oh, hold on. Follow that tune.
So this is actually really interesting. This one actually really interesting because he got really popular even in America for this. This one little dance, just because he follow that tune, he just started doing this shoulder dance. But he is having an influence on the younger generation, isn't it? And I think that's beautiful. You know, because you'd rather a positive influencer have a positive influence on this generation than a negative influencer who's acting like they know what they're talking about and they're just toxic as shit. And again, I'm not going to give names, but what a positive influence, you know? Tell you what it reminded me of. It might be another one. It reminds me of the In-Betweeners. In-Betweeners is one of my favourite TV shows. Yeah, it's quite rude. It's almost like a coming of age comedy. So it's like people at the end of school, high school, and you know it's a little bit rude, but it's funny. And it's just they do a dance. They do dance in that's quite in the UK. It's quite prolific. It just reminds me of that. But it's Anyway, yeah, it looks like it's another video, so let's just quickly do that one quick.
What's happening? You all right? I can turn you off stream if you want. Huh? I can turn you off stream. We're streaming if you want.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, no worries. So just keep it on top. Yeah, you're all right. Right, lovely to meet you. Have a nice evening.
So I said he does that. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, I said I think he does that. So when people he doesn't do it for the clout. Doesn't do it to say, oh, look at this situation. He does things for kindness.
Yeah, sweet. What's happening?
Oh, look at that.
I look kind of cute, but it's weird. I don't know. Yeah, it looks kind of like, I feel like I need to look after that fella, to be honest. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, mate, what's going on with you? Dogs are for life, Chad. Never forget that. If you're someone that wants to get a dog, remember, you've got that dog for about 10 to 15 years. Hold on a minute, I'm talking. You got that dog for about 10...
Because he's on a serious one. So he's stopping him talking about nonsense so he can focus on the serious aspect of life to say, you know, dogs for life. I like that.
Years. Hold on a minute, I'm talking. You got that dog for about 10 to 15 years. So if you're someone that wants to get a dog, never get a dog unless you're willing to put the commitment in and have that dog forever. Because that dog thinks it's part of your family. So please think, if you are going to get a dog, or any animal, in fact, that you're going to have the animal forever.
Anyway, that's the last of that. But what I'd say is that's actually a positive influencer. It's a shame because, you know, I could give so many examples of these cretin ones. Like I could just go on a huge, you can go on a whole reel of these people, and you'd see they're just not the best people at all. And unfortunately, they've carved their way into the psyche of a current generation of youth. And not even just the youth. There's even adults that follow this shit. You know, not him. I think he's coming across really well, but in general. But I actually don't understand the need to keep watching people regularly like this. You know, personally, where the camera's always on, you've got to constantly be feeding the thing. But, you know, some people, it is their day, isn't it? So I guess we all have different ways of life, different things we're interested in. And like I say, for me, personally, I feel like he's working in an area where certain people need him, you know? So, like I say, there's people that watch YouTube, there's going to be people that watch social media, there's going to be people that just binge watching Netflix and stuff. And there'll be influences everywhere, won't they? And I just think for those who really just gravitate to social media and you're just going to consume a lot of content, it's not a bad thing for people like that to see him. I think that's good. Out of all the people you could watch, I think that's great. So, yeah. So there is positive influencers, but I'd always have a negative opinion of influencers because I think they're so rare a positive example. And I also think people shouldn't be living their life continuously online. I don't think it's healthy. That's the negative to it, personally. So if people were to mirror the example by becoming influencers in the same way, my concern is people just recording every part of their everyday life all the time. So nothing's ever private. And you struggle to just enjoy the little things in life without a camera. That's the only danger that I find with it. So I'll always have a negative opinion of influencers in general, but I think he's a good role model. But I don't think he needs to just do live streaming all the time. Of course, up to him how he lives his life. But someone like that, he's got personality, he's got what he considers aura and other things. You know, who's to say he wouldn't be on telly one day doing something else anyway? Because there's always room to put people, isn't there? So could he be a presenter of a certain show or something and you see him there? Maybe he doesn't always have to have everything live broadcast. But then, like he's saying, he enjoys that. So, again, each to their own. I'm not here to say people shouldn't do whatever. It's just, you know, I'd have thought it'd get exhausting. And I don't think it's healthy for people just to be attached to the internet all day, every day. Creator or viewer. But anyway, yeah, I just felt it's only fair that we showcase. But like I said, you've already caught his name somewhere in all the videos that I've done, but I can't block that out. And I wouldn't want to sort of deny someone. I mean, he's already popular. It's getting popular. That I'm not interested, like me, I'm never interested in gaining attention, clout, or anything off the back of someone else's name. So you won't see me doing that shit. Someone else creating what I'm doing in any form, they would create clickbait headlines. They would do all that. I'm just saying, people are just creatures of habit, you know, and they're all just opportunists. I'm not interested in that shit. Rather just bring the attention to things that I think are important in life, society, our personal growth, development, all sorts of things. And like I say, if there's a positive influencer, I think it's important that we showcase that and explain it a little bit.